Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers finally got a win. We finally got a victory. 121-110 at Crypto.com Arena against the Denver Nuggets. And I think the story tonight was probably Russell Westbrook really just shining off of the bench and going completely ham. Just doing all the things you need him to do. You know, the Lakers had some really good offensive runs in this game. We had a huge run at the in the second quarter, and another huge run at the end of the game as well. And we just really liked what we saw from those guys. Consistency was key. Um, I'm really concerned about Lonnie Walker III, though. He was limping off of the court at the end of the game. I really haven't heard any status on that. So he had such a fantastic second half after not shooting the ball well, but really letting his energy shine in other areas in the first half. And in the third quarter, he just went crazy. He started finding his rhythm, and the shots just kept falling and falling and falling and falling. He just really lit it up. Um, you have to be concerned about Anthony Davis. He's really taking a lot of punishment on that back. I don't know how he's really handling that. You know, it just seems like every other play he's grimacing. But he was a plus 15 out there. Did some really good things for us on both sides of the ball, and I'm really happy to see um, ultimately that he's fighting through. Nevertheless, he's not allowing it to get to him. But it's just one of those things where I understand that he's in a lot of pain. So it's just the frustrations, but the perseverance that you just have to continue to appreciate. So, I am very happy with Anthony Davis's fight and with his play. Um, LeBron James, I thought he was pretty good out there. You know what I mean? His jump shot, I really liked how his set jump shot was falling. He just did a really good job of picking those spots and taking care of them. I thought he had much better shot selection from three tonight, even though a few of those threes didn't fall. I thought the ones that he shot were good and warranted, and some of them did fall. So I just thought he had a nice offensive game out there for the most part. He really picked his spots well, cut it well as usual. Guys were finding him in the paint and stuff like that as he was darting, and I just really liked how he ran the floor tonight. Um, I think you could see opportunities for the Lakers to improve in some areas, um, but honestly, I think what mostly stood out was just the overall incremental improvement in most areas, which is something that I've been waiting to see. Um, we shot the three ball much better. I think it was 13 of 30 or something of that nature. I might have that a little off, but you love the fact that we shot above 40% from the three and limited our attempts to about 30. So getting to 30 at that number amount, I think, is a very good thing for the Lakers. And then, of course, you want to give them kudos for also being a bit better in the paint as well from the field. I think we're about 46%. So you can just see where we're getting a little better. You know, we won the rebounding totals. We got about 52 boards on the night, which was good. 9 turnovers, which is a fantastic contrast from the 22 that we had in the previous game. So you can see where the things that we did helped us. We just helped ourselves. I think the second unit really told the story. The Denver Nuggets, I don't know what's going on with them. I'm going to be honest with you. I had sensed that they were having some real struggles over there. Their second unit was just awful. I don't know what to say. You know, you look at the plus minuses of the guys, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green. It didn't look like they were playing as bad as they did, but we've got to give our bench credit. They really took it to them. You know, give Darvin Ham all the credit in the world for putting Russell Westbrook on that bench. And those guys just really played well off of him. You know, Matt Ryan came in off the bench and shot the ball very well, showed us exactly what he can do, and why I've been calling for us to call his number, because 37 is a weapon. We definitely appreciate also what we saw from Wenyen Gabriel, even though he only came in for a couple minutes. We like that the coach is starting to call his number, and he does good things with those minutes, so I hope that he continues to get them. Austin Reeves was good tonight, especially in the second half. That three ball was falling. He was letting it fly with confidence, doing the things that he does, obviously making plays for others, rebounding the ball, just doing intangibles and things of that nature that make the team overall smarter. So I'm very happy that we're continuing to try to work him into the equation, and he's starting to play better with the minutes given. So that's been the thing. You know, it's been a little inconsistent, a little inconsistency out of how we've been using him and how he's been playing as well. So to see him have a good game was definitely important for our ball club. Troy Brown is just continuing to be consistent, especially on the defensive end. You can rely upon him to put a big body on somebody and contest shots. And I just think we're just an overall much better team because he's on it. So I couldn't be more happy with Troy Brown, especially knowing that he's coming back from injury. Uh, I didn't know what to expect from him. He was the one player I'm just like, what is it? What are we gonna get? So far, fantastic. Probably one of my favorite signings actually, because of how he came in. It's just kind of settled things down. Even though we weren't winning, you could just clearly see that his piece made us better. And then once we started inserting Wenyen Gabriel back into things, then you could start seeing where we really started finding little things that start working for us. So now going forward, we've tasted success. We've beat the Denver Nuggets as a team we think could possibly be an NBA contender, even though they've had a horrible game. We know that we saw the gist of what it is they're going to be throwing at you. The bottom line is they're healthy. So for us to get a victory against them tonight, Nikola Jokic had a good game where he put up the numbers that you normally expect from him, and we won. Michael Porter Jr. I think had some struggle shooting the ball here and there. That's a little something that kind of stood out in regards to the box score, just out of memory. Jamal Murray is on his way back. He showed us in the game that we played a few nights ago that he was dunking all over the place trying to prove that his conditioning is where it needs to be. And tonight he looked even better. And it's very important that we continue to search for opportunities to improve upon our one-on-one matchups and our defensive overall schemes. We're a good defensive team. We have good defensive players. I like what we're doing. I just see a room for improvement, particularly where we match up in situations. I thought that leaving Austin Reeves on an island with Jamal Murray just proved to be a real tough thing. And little stuff like that is just, going to be something that I want Darvin Ham to take a look at and continue to try to tweak within our defense so that we can kind of limit those. Because that's one of the things that I think that's an order of improvement for us. It's just working on matching up, and I thought we did better tonight. I think we've seen some improvement there. So I just want to see us get even more so into it in regards to making sure that size is on the floor. With that being said, I definitely appreciated the fact that this is going to sound like a contradiction, but I appreciated the fact that we limited Damian Jones' minutes tonight. The fact that Anthony Davis was out there wasn't as necessary keeping him out there. And, he doesn't do a whole lot of good for us when he does get the minutes. I'm not going to sit here and bash the guy. He works hard, but it's one of those situations where I just understand that we're a much better team when he's sitting down. So that's just as real as it gets. Facts over feelings. Kendrick Nunn came in, hit a shot, didn't do a whole lot in terms of his minutes. My idea is we kind of play him based on how he's playing in practice. If he's looking good in practice, doing things that impress, then you work him into the equation. But if he's struggling and he doesn't have it, you got to play him like you played him tonight, incrementally, sparingly, and move on. Unfortunately, though, now that Walker may be dealing with something of some sort, we may have to lean on him a bit more. I would like to think that we're going to lean on Christie some. He was a DMP tonight. I am just wondering how I should view the philosophy, I guess. Because on one hand, I like the fact that we're keeping guys healthy. If you don't play everyone every night, there's no way everybody can get hurt every night. You know what I mean? On the other hand, I'd like to see some of these players get regular minutes and maybe shuffle some of them around. But it's an 82-game schedule, so maybe it makes more sense to spare a guy like Max Christie for, say, December and January, February. You know what I mean? So I understand that, and I'm trying to be patient in regards to just how I view so many players getting DMPs. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'm not sure I shouldn't be, because it does keep players healthy at the end of the day. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just kind of open-minded at this point. So I'm happy. I mean, it is what it is. I think we got a victory tonight. We know that this has been a very tough start to the season. Uh, I think I've reacted very rationally, even though it seems like it's been a bit of an overreaction given the um, the nature of what we've been talking about and how we flipped our tune or changed our tune on a lot of things. But I just think that at the end of the day, winning cures all. And if this can be the start of a winning streak, then our tone can improve from here. At the end of the day, we just want to save our season. And if this roster can do that, then why not? You know what I mean? Now, I don't personally think we should be investing in this roster, but winning cures all. No one's going to complain about anything when people are winning basketball games. So, Westbrook off the bench is working. I thought the body language is a bit iffy out there with some of the guys, but I'm not trying to throw any extra dirt on the situation. I would just say that we got to win, and I think that should help there. So, it's not necessarily about guys being best friends. It's just about the chemistry of the team ultimately being positive. And again, winning cures all. So, pretty happy about it, man. What can I say? We beat the Denver Nuggets. They're struggling. I don't know what's going on with them, but the energy on that bench looked bad. So, I don't know what's going on with them internally, but I sense something. And at any rate, it was good to see us beat them. They got us a couple days ago in embarrassing fashion in their building, and we were able to split the season series with a team that we may see in the playoffs if we're lucky enough to actually make the playoffs. I definitely don't want to make it seem like as if I expect to be there right now, but at the end of the day, that is what we're shooting for, and that is the reality of the situation. Denver will be there, or at least we expect them to be. But now we got the Pelicans coming up on Wednesday, and of course, that is not something that you're sitting up here saying, oh yeah, we're going to take them over, we're knocking them out. No, that team is good, if not very good. And if you listen to me, I think they're a contender. I've been talking about it all summer. So we got our work cut out for us. We'll of course talk about that game ahead and give it all its necessary chatter. But for now, we're just going to appreciate this win. It's good seeing KCP come back to the building and kind of celebrate with us. Obviously, tonight was George Mikan's night, so we definitely appreciate that he was able to finally get up there in the rafters where he belonged. And, it is what it is. When the Lakers are winning, everybody's happy. Obviously, we have our issues, but I don't think it's necessary to bring those up when there's a lot to be happy about. The team shot well. We saw streaks of 17-2 in terms of runs. So you can just see where the offense is starting to come together. We're starting to pick our spots. Guys are starting to find their confidence. They're shaking off the identity of a team that just cannot hit a shot. And shot makers are starting to find their rhythm. So I think Schroeder and Thomas Bryant should be back very soon. That should give us the size and the ability with our depth to kind of get away from Kendrick Nunn. Maybe help ourselves with Walker if this is going to be something. Hopefully it's not. But all in all, we're nursing injuries, man. If I'm not mistaken, LeBron James may have had something go on there too. A rolled ankle or something like that he might be fighting through. So we just got to keep our eyes on everything. AD, Bron, and of course Lonnie Walker. It's just... we're fighting, when you play a brand of basketball that doesn't allow you to shoot the ball, you're going to take contact. You're going to be slashing a lot. You're going to roll ankles and things of that nature. So we just have to, keep fresh bodies out there. That's how we have to do it. And so that's what we saw, man, a victory, a Los Angeles Laker win. The Lakers are now 1-5. You know what I'm saying? We finally got a victory. The Kings got theirs yesterday, so there are no more winless teams in the NBA. It won't be any 0-11 or none of that. I think the most important thing for our team is to understand that we're in the midst of a schedule that's not necessarily within our control. So we can't really measure our highs and lows off of victories and wins. You gotta measure your highs and lows off of what it is you intend to do within what it is that you've been seeing and the improvements within that. So what I'm saying is, we shot the ball well tonight, and based on the fact that we played against a team that has some defensive players, but we don't expect them to be crazy defensive, you are happy with your percentage, but you don't look at the next game and say we better shoot as well from the three. because at the end of the day, that's very different personnel. So what you want to say is you just want to continue to work the plays that you've been working with the same confidence, shoot the ball the same way, rhythm, things of that nature. You just want to continue to work Russell off the bench and just continue to do the things that's been working. Because at the end of the day, when you're going up against Zion, Valanciunas, and B.I., and C.J., and all those guys, it's not really within your control what happened. You're going to need them to make some mistakes in order for you to probably have a chance to win. But if you limit your mistakes and play the type of basketball that we played tonight, we can definitely put them in a position to where they have to limit their mistakes. And that's a young team at the end of the day. So that's how we do it. We got our victory tonight, so we don't have to continue to, wonder when that's going to happen. And we know what it took for us to win. Shooting the ball, 33-point shots, make about 14 of them. No more shots needed attempted more so than that. No more needed than that. Getting in the paint, scoring the ball, limiting our turnovers down to under 10, winning the rebounding total, getting more than 52 of them. These are things that helped us win the basketball game. If we can't do those things, we're going to struggle. So that's really what it's about. I think we played some solid defense. I thought guys contested shots very well. And I just want to give credit to Anthony Davis when he was kind of going through some of the grimacing and dealing with the back. He was still getting in the mix and making sure guys could not score over him. And that's one of the things I most appreciate about Anthony Davis. He truly is one of the greatest defenders in the history of the game. Because when it comes down to a one-on-one situation, rarely do guys get anything over him, literally ever. And that is the truth. And when we trade him, and I do believe we're going to trade him, that's going to be the most important thing that we're going to miss. You do not replace that. So we need to understand that when we do move on from AD, and I think it's coming, we need to understand that we let go of one of the best defenders in the NBA. And so we need to make sure that return makes sense if we're doing something like that. But as far as I can tell, his health is just in the balance. And with what we have and how we're built, it's too risky. It's just too risky, and that's why I'm pushing for such a thing. But it ain't because he sucks or because some weird opinion isn't reflected in what I'm seeing. That man is one of the best defenders to play, and that's just what it is. And we need to put him in positions to play the four more. You know, when a guy tells you who he is, and he tells you don't play me at a certain position, it's probably wise not to. We played him at that position. Despite that, we ran into the injury issues that came because of it, and it's our fault he didn't stay healthy. It is our fault for not getting rid of certain coaches soon enough and getting rid of players soon enough to put a better foundation around Anthony Davis. We focused on other things. When he was the youngest piece, and the one that probably should have been built around in the first place. This is how I see it. LeBron James fits with anybody and everybody. We should have made sure that Anthony Davis's pieces fit him. If he would have been the focal point and we would have had enough depth to keep him healthy so that he wasn't taking punishment, so that he wasn't banging up against people he was not supposed to be, so that he had multiple players at his position to supplement him, so that he can have the time to sit like he needed. These are the things you needed to build around Anthony Davis at a max contract. We were irresponsible in how we handled that. And that is what must to be most understood about the Lakers and how this went. So when you hear me say we're moving on from Anthony Davis, even though nobody said we're trading him, I'm saying that because if we don't trade him, we're literally irresponsible. Because we don't have in place both what he needs and what we need to bring him what he needs. So that's why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. Because if Rob Pelinka don't trade this man, he's not doing his job. And it's unfortunate because there's no reason in hell for this to be the case. So, I didn't want to get pessimistic, but hey, I'm a Laker fan. We're aiming for championships and we're 1-5. And if I'm bringing everything back to context, as a real Laker fan, of somebody who's been watching this team for 29 years, 30 years, however long it's been, a win is a win. I'm happy to have it, but that's not what we're here necessarily for. We want to get championships. And so you can't get those without victories. We'll take one, but the bigger picture is always to make sure that we save our future as a franchise. So I think Jeanie Buss needs to keep her eye on the prize as it pertains to that, and just understand how close she is to everything falling apart every single time she sends Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook out there to play basketball. Happy we got a victory tonight. It worked for us, but we're not as healthy as we want to be as a team. And that's yet another reminder of what it is that's in the balance right now. What's at risk. So that's what I got to say, man. Happy win. Very happy win, you know. If I'm going to give credit to anybody particular, it'll just be Lonnie Walker, just for how well he played. You know, when a guy comes out and is 1 for 6 in the first half, but does a lot of things that let you understand that all he needs to do is find his rhythm and he's going to have a good game. And then he comes out in the second half and hits a bunch of shots, you understand that he really, really, really has a bunch of upside that needs to be tapped into. Consistency in a development phase that needs to be invested in. And so that leg of development can happen here, but we're going to have to be patient with him. He is not some of the other shooting guards that we've had, KCP and Malik Monk, but he is Lonnie Walker. And he is a very young player, so I see something there. There's something there. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar or a star or that, but what I'm saying is within what he did tonight, you can see more of that coming more consistently from him. And, you know, we were lucky to have him, so we got to heal him up, take him seriously, and then, humbly speaking, get some players that are better than him to step in front of him, because he's not ready to be the shooting guard that we're asking him to be. But we can get this production from him more often if we take his development seriously. So that's what I want to say about that. Who else? You know, that's what the story is out there. I just think we just need to get a little more talent and then keep the guys that we already have and just give them pretty much the same roles. You know what I mean? Just better stars in front of them. Honestly, I like a guy like Austin Reeves, you know, and everything he brings to the game. I don't think there are too many situations he does not fit in, especially since his three-point shot can fall, which is not that surprising. I just know he's not a three-point shooter, but he can hit the shot, and he showed us that tonight, so we're very happy about that. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody who might have been very productive that deserves to be spoken of. I don't know who that is. But Russell Westbrook is definitely somebody who also deserves game honors for just really being a good sport about this bench thing. I know he hates it. We know it's uncomfortable for him in a lot of ways, but over the last 2 games, he's embraced it, and I think it's one of the reasons why we won tonight. In fact, I think it was one of the main reasons we won tonight, because just like Russell Westbrook can do a lot of good things for you, he can take a lot from you. And so he was able to give us a lot tonight, and that's what we need from him. So that's what it is, man. That's where my head is in regards to this team. We got this victory. It's still not a whole lot to be overly thrilled about, but when you are a bad team, you gotta celebrate the wins because they don't come around very often. But with wins comes hope and trust and belief and a willingness to get back out there and try again to get even better, knowing that success has now come. So that's what I want to see the team do. Not get overly too high about this win because we know we got a loss coming up at some point. But as long as you play well, you give yourselves a chance to win. And that's what it's all about. So that's what I got to say, man. It's the Kobe Minute. You know how we get down here. BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. Lakers win.